What is up, everyone? It's Doug here with Retro Geek Gaming. Thank you for joining me today here on my revamped channel, which is now called Retro Geek Gaming, obviously. Well, I just sat in front of a camera talking about things that are retro, things that are geek, and things that are gaming related that I think are relevant to put on my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to talk about some stuff that I wanted to mull over. I wanted to wait for more news to come up and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why I took the hiatus to figure out how to rebrand myself and everything. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Nintendo NX. I know that that is something that's kind of ironic because I didn't really want to talk about the NX anymore, but there have been a lot of things that have come up, a lot of speculations that I wanted to talk about and address them here on the channel. Now, one of the very first things that I want to address is the fact that a patent has recently come out that looks like the whole thing about it being a detachable, having detachable controllers is true. The patent shows, you know, these little, it really just showed the right part with the buttons and everything, but it really does show how this thing is going to attach to other things like that. And it seems like it's really interesting technology based upon what they do, because the patent talked a little bit more about how it's going to use infrared instead of wires, which is going to be something that's going to be really interesting. Think about it like how the Wii worked. It had an infrared camera that pointed back to the sensor bar to be able to send data to it. Think of it similar to that. There will be a camera inside of the NX that when you press down a particular button like A or B, it's going to send a signal to that to be able to have it read and register and send that input to the screen. And I think that's going to help make it a little bit cheaper and a little bit more efficient for them to be able to make more of. I think it's going to be a really neat idea, because there was also talks in the patent about it being able to maybe read hand gestures as well. I think that would be something to be really interesting to see how they're going to put forth with it. So the Nintendo NX does really seem to be shaping up to be a really interesting system. I'm really excited for whenever they announce it. I will be sure to be talking about it as soon as possible. The main thing is that I've been hearing a lot of other rumors, though, in regards to like it having GPS, for example. And I think that would be something to be interesting if it does, because I know that they were kind of wanting to experiment with that idea for a while. And it's something they kind of did with the Nintendo 3DS, because if you remember, it could fold, you could carry it in its pocket, you can get play coins. And then they also had something similar with like the Wii Fit meter, how it was able to read elevation and things like that. I think something like that could be really great, especially for the creative community out there. You know, like for example, if they come out with a Mario Kart 9 for the Nintendo NX, and you go outside and you walk a certain route, and it makes that be a course that you can then generate or something, then put online to be able to play. I think that'd be something that'd be really great. And another example that I started thinking of instantly is Animal Crossing. Maybe you can use like Google Maps or something to be able to find your neighborhood, and it transforms that into an Animal Crossing village, so it really just becomes based upon where you live instead of it being this procedurally generated town. It could really be based upon where you live. So if you happen to live near a river and there's a river there, maybe you'll throw in a lake or river anyway, because you kind of have to for Animal Crossing to be able to fish. But you get what I'm saying. It can really change how these things are done, you know. I kind of think of it similar to how like AR games and Face Raiders worked on Nintendo 3DS, how you can move around the gyroscope and it could then take the environment and make it work like that. I think that could be something to be really great, especially because we already know that it has VR and AR built into it. So it's going to have virtual reality and augmented reality elements. So this gets me to thinking that we could easily do this. Like we could easily have it to where, you know, you're out in the real world, and maybe Pokemon Go, for example, comes to this thing, or some kind of an advanced Pokemon Go version or something, and you can take this thing out in the real world and actually use it for augmented reality to find these Pokemon, or to play a Mario game, or to do whatever that it is that they plan to do. I think that could be really great technology. And again, the idea that the controller is detachable makes me think that it's really going to come down to how you want to play it. If you want to use it as a portable all the time, it will attach to, I guess, a tablet. But I also like the idea that it could maybe detach and become part of a husk, that it maybe looks similar to like a Pro controller, and you just play it that way if you don't want to use touchscreen at all. Or if you're like me and you like the gamepad, you can play it maybe gamepad style. You can turn it sideways like the Wii Remote and automatically hand something to another player for 2 players, or even maybe even use the tablet for 3-player capabilities, similar to what you could do with New Super Mario Bros. U and how you could use the gamepad. But now it's instantly a 3-player game because you have the left part goes to this player, the right part goes to this player, and the tablet goes to the 3rd player. I can see all kinds of potentials for this, but it really is going to depend, again, all rumors, it's really going to depend upon what the system is capable of. I'm no longer going to debate the power of the system. There's a lot of third-party developers that have come forward recently that have announced that they're really excited about it. They plan to bring games like Kingdom Hearts 3, I believe, over to the NX. So obviously it's going to have some graphical capabilities. It wouldn't make any sense for it. There wouldn't be third-party developers, in my opinion, that are just raving about it, talking about they want to bring this game over. They show the next Sonic games coming over to the NX. I don't think that third-party developers would get on board with this and talk so greatly about it if there wasn't some merit to power to it. Plus, if it really is going to be similar, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not really worried about the Xbox, the NX, is because if it's going to be similar to what Microsoft is doing with the Xbox, even though the Scorpio may be way more powerful, you can still play Xbox One games. You can still play games that come out for the Scorpio on the Xbox One. It doesn't really matter which one of the family of systems that you have. You'll still be able to play the games. Then if they can match power to a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, it really isn't going to matter because the games are going to be similar. And maybe they'll find ways to be able to tweak it. Because Nintendo is all about lateral thinking. They usually take the technology and they work within the confines of what they have. Another thing that I think that will benefit them, though, is if they do come out, and if it is going to be a portable hybrid, like it seems like a lot of these patents and rumors seem to be supporting, which I don't think it is. I still think there's going to be a portable and a console in some ways. I think that there's going to be a family of systems similar to how there's a Wii U and a 3DS. I just think that they're just going to blur the line a little bit more. That's what I think, because it doesn't make much sense for them to have one SKU and put all of their faith into one, and if it doesn't sell, then they make no money. But I think physical media, like I talked about in an earlier video, using things like SD cards or even flash drives would really help. Because again, if you take something that's like a DS style card, for an example, and you can get up to, let's say, 500 gigabytes or 250 gigabytes, heck, even let's do 125 gigabytes. You can hold more data on that than you can on probably the biggest Blu-ray disc that's available. And because it's all compressed, it's able to load quicker. And because you have such a smaller slot, more of the unit can be put towards improving it. After all, I think that's one of the reasons why the Nintendo 3DS has done what it's done. It's been able to put more horsepower and more capabilities into the new Nintendo 3DS because they just figured out ways of making it smaller. And I think that that's something that can benefit them with the NX if they choose to go that route as well, continuing to use the physical cards. Because then you can have something to where, yeah, sure, we can put more hard drive space in here. We can put more GPU power in there. And to me, it's not really going to be about power. I believe it's going to have that capability because otherwise, again, third-party developers won't be behind it. But to me, it is about the features that it's going to have. And hopefully it has better online features. I do agree that the Wii U did kind of drop the ball a little bit with its Wii U, with its capabilities as far as online. And they could greatly improve upon that. No trophies, please. No achievements. I still love the fact that Nintendo does not do that because I want to just be able to just enjoy a game and not have to worry about... Because I'm a completionist, so to me, if it's got trophies and achievements, I'm more likely going to go for them. But for the most part, I've been ignoring them, and I know it's optional, and it's fine if you throw them in there. I just personally would not like to see that. And this is going to be kind of a two-for-one. Hopefully, we will get some good games on there, because that to me is the biggest thing. And there was a recent announcement that Retro Studios is actually working on a Nintendo NX game. They say it's a new IP, which I'm happy about, I really think that they should just not make any more Metroid games. I've already stated that they made a good portion of Metroid Prime games. They completed their story. They should really leave that alone and leave it up to a new developer to take it in a different direction. But as far as what they could be working on, I'd love to see Kid Icarus. I'd love to see Luigi's Mansion. Or even a new IP, something that is brand new. I know that the rumor is stating it's a new IP, but I think that when they say it's new to retro. So it could be something that retro has not taken on yet, like a Star Fox, or a Kid Icarus, or even another game that maybe has been laying dormant for some time. You know, like a Star Tropics or something that's been laying dormant for a very long time that they could bring back. But if it's a new IP, like a new IP, then I'm looking forward to seeing what Retro can do, because for the most part they haven't really done new IPs, they've just sort of revamped old IPs. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on all this. Make sure that you like this video. If you like this content, you'll let me know that you have seen the video and that you want to see similar stuff come from this channel. Feel free to also subscribe. Now that I'm back from my hiatus, I plan to try to upload at least 1 video per week. Maybe even sometimes 2, depending upon what topics come up within the media and stuff. And feel free to also follow me on Twitter at RetroGeekGaming, where I will also try to post what I may be talking about in future things, get ideas from you as far as future content to talk about. Feel free to shoot stuff over to me. I'd love to hear what you have to say and love to start a conversation with you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support that I can get here at Retro Geek Gaming, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.